Miscellaneous Stereotypes, Episode 6, The Heavy, by SoundSmith. I have honestly been having a lot of fun with the Heavy. I've been very much enjoying the whole Fat Spy gimmick, having Pretty Machete, right? Very much been enjoying those. So I figured, let's go ahead and get into this next one so I can see what other miscellaneous that the Heavy gets that I can potentially enjoy.
This is the heavy weapons guy. He's big, he's strong, and he's a man of few words.
Love it.
So, yeah, kind of like me when I was writing this intro. You would think that this guy would be the type of heavy to always have a medigun placed firmly in his butthole, but more often than not, these guys are actually strong, independent heavies who don't need no medic. More often than not, you'll find them rocking the Tomislav, Second Banana, and some other melee that works with their playstyle. Probably Fist of Steel, I don't know. At any rate, they'll usually go do their own thing, and while they'll do pretty well, they're probably not going to stick with your team all that much.
Right.
You'll see them in the kill feed, but not very frequently otherwise.
It's been really interesting to play Heavy and see, a Heavy that is supported by their team. And that honestly, just being able to clear points like that in community nights has been kind of wild. One of the other ones as well, it's been very interesting to see that a really good Heavy that can duck in and out of cover can really be pivotal to a team fight. Like, yeah, obviously you have to be aware of snipers, whether using the Luxman or whether you're using, actual, sniper, right? Actual gun, if you will. And obviously it's not saying that's the ultimate class in the game, right? A good spy can get behind you, especially because you're so massive and, you have a hitbox the size of Texas in regards to backstabs. But like, I don't know, it's been very interesting to play Heavy and to try to figure out how Heavy kind of can affect and even in some cases warp the front line. And you know that your team is doing really good on offense. Sorry. You know your team's doing really good on defense when the enemy team swaps to 3 heavies and you just see a conga line of 3 heavies already revved up and ready to go. That is one of those ones that you're like, yeah, we've pushed the enemy team a little too far. They brought out the triple heavy comp. Michael Bay.
Okay, really. This guy might as well have picked Sniper with how accurate his sandwich throws are. It doesn't matter where you are in relation to him. Even if you're all the way across the map, he's still gonna nail that sandwich throw 100 times out of 100. It's actually kind of insane.
Kind of wild.
This is a guy who definitely knows where his towel is because, well, it's right there. It's on his shoulder. Anyway, it's also probably safe to assume that he also has a toothbrush, a washcloth, a bar of soap, tin of biscuits, a flask, compass, map, ball of string, gnat spray, wet weather gear, spacesuit, etc., etc., etc. Basically, any heavy who knows where his towel is a fat Russian dude to be reckoned with. Okay, but really, Douglas Adams quotes aside, they usually just wear the gym rat or something. I don't know.
To be fair, oh god, one of those things. It's really interesting because it's one of those things where like we joke about like oh, where's his towel? Oh, it's on his head, right? And then like you think about it for a second, right? And it's really funny because like I've definitely been like, how many of us have been there? We're like, hey, I gotta go find my phone while you're on the phone, or like I need to find my phone, and you're like sitting on your phone or something like that, right? So I have to idiot proof myself. Why I have to idiot proof myself in terms of like, wallet and keys in one pocket, 3DS XL in the other pocket. If I'm out and walking around, portable charger pocket 1, portable phone pocket, back pocket 2, right? Like I have to idiot proof myself constantly because something that's like right there, I miss constantly.
Okay, so I already covered this in hat stereotypes, but that's because I fell for a common misconception, which is that this hat takes up the head slot, when in reality it takes up the head skin region. This means that it can be worn with pretty much any other cosmetic and is classified as a misc. Regardless,
unironically, I'm actually having this conversation in another window because I thought the Battle Balaclava, right, is the one that a lot of people use for Fat Spy, right? But I was like, why doesn't this have an unusual? Like, I'm looking, it has a strange, it's got a base variant. And then I'm looking at this, and I'm like, wait, why does this not? And then it's like, Kip, this is a misc. Miscs don't get unusuals. I guess unless it's from a long time ago, but I would not know in regards to things that are miscellaneous that have unusuals. It's wild to me. It seems like this is a heavy... It's not a heavy specific thing, right? But it's very much a... Heavy has a couple instances of it taking up the head region, but it doesn't get unusuals because it's miscellaneous.
Let me catch you up on the stereotype just in case you forgot. Right, and in addition to that, this is also one of those cosmetics that's favored by traders, since it allows you to get a second unusual effect without changing your loadout all that much. Kind of like the polar pullover. And like the polar pullover, it's also expensive as hell.
I was about to say, because this is a dual unusual slot, this is going to make this really expensive, isn't it? What is a TF2 key worth? I always forget this. TF2 key worth. After tax, $6 USD after taxes or something. So about $240. That's wild. I love these summoning circle ones, but like they had to have been an effect from a long time ago because finding these is wild. And when you do find them, they're expensive.
Holy shit.
Yeah, especially if you have the ability to have a second unusual defense.
Who sent all these babies to fight? I'm coming for you!
POV. I'm playing Fat Spy and coming at you with the printing machete. This happens to me every community day. It's hilarious.
It's not possible!
This is pretty much exclusively used with the Warhead, since it's one of the only things that actually works with the whole, like, metal aesthetic thing. Usually it's just a newer player that's trying way too hard to look intimidating. Well, either that or they're going for a purposefully ugly loadout for a meme, or, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. The shades, yeah! Wow, that was true.
Sunglasses, specs, shades.
Whatever you call them, these tinted accessories have an iconic place in fashion history and law enforcement.
Like the security shades, the old school spectacles for the heavy.
And the Macho Man, the hugely popular all-class Misc.
He's whoosh and I'm shotgun.
And it's our job to analyze their comfort, synergy, and style to find out who would win a hat bad. Okay, that was fast.
But we have this gun.
Yeah, it's almost like the Macho Man outclasses the security shades in almost every way possible, leaving them with basically no reason to exist.
Amazing.
Yeah. Huh.
We did a couple reactions to Death Battle. I got tired of the copyright. It was one of those things that those definitely got copyrighted. I think... Let me check. I'm actually in my other window. Yeah, all of them, I guess they were either fraudulent claimants or they held no water, or alternative, because I don't remember seeing actual whoever owns Death Battle proper. I think it was all just like South American claimants and stuff. Like they're fine. They did okay in terms of reactions. But like I just got tired of the copyright because those things get copyrighted so quick. It's not even funny. Then you got to go fight that. And then they also didn't really do well. So I stopped doing, that's why I stopped doing those. I thought they were fun. I thought they were neat. But yeah, the copyright and it just got a little tedious. But they do put out some good work.
This one's pretty obvious. He's going for the lumberjack look and is probably wearing the outdoorsman. Interestingly, they also seem to run Tomislav a lot. I don't know why, but they do.
I think it's just the best. I like it. I like
okay, so you know the...
What is it? The hit variance when you spin up, it has a lower hit variance, right? The spread is tighter. That's why I like it.
Silent pub stomper type, like, you know, that one demo with the random 4-character lowercase Latin name with a regular old strange sticky launcher with 100,000 kills on it, and he just walks in and destroys the entire server without even talking. Well, this guy is the heavy equivalent of that. He's the guy wearing the Reader's Choice and the Carl, either running stock or Tomislav, and somehow has perfect tracking and positioning despite not ever communicating with his team. It's honestly pretty scary to go up against. I mean, like, if you're a sniper, you might get a couple headshots on him, but if you're any other class, well, good luck.
That ain't happening. I love that, though.
This This right
love
here
the hair.
is the combo unusual. You know, like the one that everyone wears to just complete a set or a joke or something, but they would never consider just wearing on their own. Like,
Honestly, kind of reminds me of Nicolas Cage for some reason.
okay, here's an example. You could use it to make a god hoovy loadout. You could make a hippie, a biker. You could use it to
okay.
complete that lumberjack set that I mentioned
I see
earlier.
what he's
You
doing,
can
yeah.
use it with a ton of stuff and have it work. So you'll very often see people wear this as a slot filler. But on its own, yeah.
I'll pick one up at some point. That's actually really tech. Hunger Force.
Okay, so there's obviously the Aqua Teen Hunger Force loadout, which is what you'll usually see people wearing this for, but there's also a rather specific meme that I see this used with a lot. If an engineer is using the level 3 chin and the dad duds, and he's partied with a heavy, then there's something like a 50% chance that the heavy will be wearing the Hunger Force, Aperture Labs hard hat, and the war goggles, and just hitting the engineer sentry with their melee. That,
He's playing Fat Engineer. Legend.
or they'll just be the sentry.
Yeah, they are the Sentry. You know what? I'm pissed off that I didn't think about this, and now I'm gonna do this next time I'm in 2 Fort. Okay, I'm gonna do this next time I'm in 2 Fort. Especially, I'm gonna hit that 4-hour game at some point. It's gonna happen. 2 hours, you start to space out and you start to question existence itself. I can't imagine 4 or even 6-hour 2 Fort games. Oh, that's got to be a different level. Like, you got to order pizza for that one, right? You order pizza mid-match. You swap to engineer so that way you can go to Intel, set up your whole your whole nest down there, and then you eat the pizza while the game is attempting to continue. The last 2-hour game of 2 Fort that I had, I think 3 or 4 of us went engineer, and we all just like tier 3'd right outside of the the opposing building. We were on blue, so we all like tier 3'd outside of red, and we had to like drag that intel out kicking and screaming. And that was only 2 hours. I can't imagine 4 or 6.
This is actually the dumbest thing.
I need to do this. I can't. I'm upset that I didn't think about this. It makes sense.
This one is actually worn by memers a lot, like, surprisingly. Just looking at it, you wouldn't really think that. But honestly, I think it's because most people just kind of forget about it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know this existed until I saw it in the wiki, and plus there are a ton of body cosmetics for heavy, so yeah. Anyway, because of this, most people would wear it to fill a set or a gimmicky playstyle or something like that. Most notably, there's the bear heavy and the homeless hoovy, both of which are totally non-serious playstyles. So
Right.
yeah, if you see this, they're probably not taking it very seriously.
No. Which is fine. Honestly, and you kind of need those, like, don't get me wrong. There is a reason to go, like, Uncle Topia status. There's a reason to play comp, right? There's a reason to play, I want to play optimally, right? A sweaty play style. Absolutely. Sometimes, though, you just need to show up as a hoovy or as a fat spy and just troll the lobby, right? Like, somebody sees you with the pretty machete as the fat spy, and they like look at you and they kind of like move side to side, like to acknowledge that they see you, and then you do the oh god, what is it? The tractor emote where you just, I'm coming for you, and you just drive at them. And it's a 50-50 if they killbind or not when you run into them with the emote. Sometimes you need those brief moments of fun, right? Or a lobby just evolve into Konga or Kazatsuki kick, right? Like, sometimes you need those moments, and I think that's what sets TF2 apart. Is it really is a mixed bag, and obviously people want to play the game, right? About maybe the second or third time you're trying to have fun, and they just keep mowing you down. Yeah, then you're like, okay, pull out Tomislav. Okay, we're actually playing though, and oh well, they're really relying on soldiers right now. Maybe I'm gonna go nest up somewhere down a hallway with a tier 3 turret or sorry, tier 3 sentry or something like that. I don't know, like. It's interesting to have to read lobbies. That's something that I actually really enjoy about TF2. Like, you have to read the environment, what people want from that specific game.
I wish I hadn't sold my bumper cards on.
The birthday boy. The cards with the birthday boy.
I feel like T-posing is actually just Bearded's natural state of being.
Actually, SoundSmith TF2, I'll have you know that that's an A pose. Even though the real name for it is a reference pose, and you're clearly only calling it a T pose because it's the easiest, most recognizable term for your audience, I still have to correct you. Look, everyone, I have a basic understanding of the English language. That means I'm smart and not obnoxious.
I love that entire bit. That's actually why I think my model. I was looking this up once. T-posing is good for certain things, but A-posing is good for other things. I think A-posing is better for animation. I think T-posing is better for static. Someone, an artist out there, a modeler, would have to explain the difference to me again, because like it's actually really interesting to figure out why you would use an A-pose versus a T-pose. I think my models use A-poses, if I remember correctly. Like you don't actually see the underside of what I do a lot, but it's one of those things where like I think default to A-pose here. I think the waifu model as well, I think defaults to A-pose. Interesting things about animation that are like you never hear talked about, but are actually really fascinating. The sassy heel.
Warpig.
I actually really love that belt.
Just hard.
Yeah, that would make sense, actually. I'm like, oh, I would wear this. Warpig. Yeah, that makes sense.
Core Warpig. Really, you'd think that most heavies who think they're amazing would be wearing edgier stuff, like the Purity Fist or the Steel Jaw or something, but this one is just... wow. Of course, there's usually a more reliable indicator of this, like having a medic buddy with matching unusuals or something like that, but more often than not, this is just used to fill out the set of a heavy who gives himself a little bit too much credit.
I mean, I love it. It looks really good.
You know, this one is weird. As a cosmetic, it definitely gives off more of a serious, edgy, try-hardy tone, so you would think that the people who wear it would fall under the same category. But here's the thing, I never really see it all that much. I mean, sure, some people who wear it will definitely fit the bill for that guy, but other people who wear it are really chill. Some of them are try-hard, some of them are hoovies, some of them are good, some of them are bad, and some of them are somewhere in between. And despite the fact that a ton of people wear this, I haven't really seen any unifying trend.
Actually, now that I think about it, if we have a straw hat for heavy, like if we get like a straw hat, I could see this being a one-piece. I almost said glam. I'm not playing 14. I could almost see this being a one-piece set, right? Just gotta wait to get that, or maybe there's something like a barbershop hat, like a little bit of a flat hat. I don't know. I'd have to see what came out, but I could totally see this being used to rock a one-piece aesthetic, like Straw Hat Pirate status.
Huh. Wow, it's almost
cool.
like cosmetics don't always have a stereotype, and the whole concept of giving stereotypes or presenting stereotypes for an in-game item is very limited and should never have been stretched as far as it was in this case. Wow, golly gee, that's one to scratch your head on, huh?
No, I don't believe you. Absolutely, these should be taken 100% seriously as actual fact. 100%. People get so weird.
This guy is definitely a cool, patriotic, American, definitely not communist, upstanding member of society.
Somewhere, the fat electrician's the hair on his arms is standing up. He can sense it. He can sense the funny C word.
This is pretty commonly worn with the tipped lid, especially around September when Tip of the Hats is rolling around.
No. I honestly would 100% be using the chicken instead. Mama, whatever. No, the chicken beats us out 100%.
Other than that, people wearing this are usually the type of people who use pet cosmetics on every other class, like the Chuckle Nuts, the Sledder's Sidekick, etc. They just...
The Spy Crab, if I could ever get one. I am, like, what, a decade at this point? Almost too late for that Spy Crab?
like animal cosmetics and stuff. And in my opinion, that's absolutely a good use of a slot. This is a pretty simple one. They're usually worn together along with the Eliminator, Safeguard, and some other military-looking cosmetic and using stock minigun. He's a tryhard, but not necessarily a toxic one. Remember, when I say tryhard, that's not really a bad thing. I know it kind of carries a negative connotation usually, but when I say that, I just mean that they're trying their hardest to win. Nothing wrong with that.
So,
yeah, I know that's a boring one. Let's move on to the more interesting stuff.
I actually really like that he points this out because, like, being a tryhard is definitely taken as a negative, but it's not always a negative. Like, it means, yeah, you're trying super hard. Oh no, we have a trying to find a thing. Well, we have a cloak and dagger spy right here. Man, he's tryharding, right? Or we have a scout with the soda popper and maybe oh god, isn't there one that gives you like an extra bounce of melee, right? Like you can absolutely metagame TF2, right? But like being a tryhard isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a different style of play. And once again, it comes down to reading the lobby. If you want a tryhard status and test your reflexes and your skills, yeah, like Uncle Topia, or I'm sure competitive it has your back, right? I'm certain it would. It's just reading the lobby and understanding what different people want out of the game. Don't get me wrong, you can have tryhards that, conflate with toxicity, right? Who they kind of go together, but that's not always the case, right? When I try to play engineer, I default to tryhard so hard it's not even funny, right? Like immediately right out the gate, I'm dropping dispenser, I'm dropping teleporter entrance, go back for scrap, dropping the turret just to make sure certain maps I've had them rush spawn, right? And then I start building like 3 things at once, right? Like I am locked in anytime I try to play engineer. I get very laser focused on playing NG. It's actually why I'm kind of hit or miss on playing it, if I'm honest, right? But like it's not a bad thing to be a tryhard. I like that he covers this.
So basically, any heavy that wears these is just letting everyone else around them know that they're the absolute greatest, manliest, bestest, big dick heavy all around.
Makes sense.
And I mean, really, there's no other cosmetic that compares to these bad boys.
Definitely.
I mean, look, any heavy can just pack on a few cosmetics and puff their chest out, But you? Nah. You're a man's kind of man, like Saxton Hale. See, as the heavy, you already know you've got a big upper body, but how many heavies are brave enough to expose those beautiful, bulging, sculpted, shaven legs? Not many, but you are. And that's why nothing compares to the jungle booty shorts, especially not that puny, heavy lifter cosmetic.
Amazing.
Fuck you, Big Joey! We all know the heavy lifter is the
I love this. I love this back and forth. This is great.
best! So, the heavy lifter. The cosmetic that turns heavy into what I've always seen him out to be. A massive, muscular powerhouse with enough beefy intimidation to send you running back to the spawn room. We're not talking about how great this cosmetic is. We're talking about the stereotype for it. You don't see too many of these guys around, but the ones you usually do see are mega egotistical tryhard heavies with medics up their asses. Fucking die! So...
Wow.
Yeah, needless to say, these guys going hard. Very hard.
Is it bad that my brain auto-corrected that to Among Us with the Among Us sound effect? I hate that. I'm just now actually realizing this, but the heavy reminds me of the art direction, the art style for the Wind Waker NPCs, right? Like the big dudes, right? Dampa, Candy, I think Gummy was another one, right? Yeah, Gummy, right? Very much reminiscent of those. And I think that may be why I actually really like the heavy's aesthetic a lot. I don't know, just literally now thinking about how, this is kind of similar. Big, beefy, buff dude, right? Like it makes sense, right? There's only so many ways you can do that in a cartoonish perspective, right? I'm a huge fan.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Champ?
Who is this?
Champ? Is Champ there?
Who is Champ?
That question will be answered sometime later this year when heavy boxing champ Bearded Expense defends his title from Big Joey's Slapnuts in the showdown of the century. Order now for just 8 easy payments of I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this.
Oh, I love that. I love how that was a tie-in promo. That's great.
This is another kind of boring one. It's just the vacation heavy loadout. Always. And they always use bloom buff stuff. Like, yeah, that's it. It's dumb. Let's move on.
I feel like boog heavy is the appropriate term there. This is our platinum. I feel like this is gonna be a war pig.
SoundSmith, are you gonna make the Joe joke? It's gonna be so funny, guys. He's gonna make the funny joke. He's gonna say the word.
Okay, look, I gotta be honest. I love this cosmetic, okay? It looks great, and it's a reference to one of my favorite anime, but I've got beef with it, and here's why. Everybody ever wears it, and
yeah.
maybe that makes me a hipster, I don't know. But it's not just that. Here's the thing.
It's not necessarily that it makes you a hipster. Like, I totally get this, though, right? I mean, like, even going in for, like, Fat Spy, like, the Fat Spy is definitely one of those, like, sure, people use it, right? And definitely larger YouTubers than I am have definitely used it, right? And showcased it, right? So, like, I'll hop on the bandwagon and stuff. Or, like, we talk about the whole, and we go over this in the eventual Zesty Jesus what is it, team recognition video. Where we go over that from a design perspective, and why workshop items are problematic in certain aspects, like the pyro one where you can dye it certain colors, and it effectively looks the opposite of the team you're on. Why does the blue pyro look red? Why does the red pyro look blue? Right, that kind of thing, right? Like people hop on the bandwagon, and there's definitely cosmetics that are used more. I happen to like more of the niche ones, if that makes sense. But even then, I guess the frog hat for Spy, I guess, is pretty common, right? The unusuals for that are fairly expensive, right? But that's also because Assassin's Grade, from what I understand. Anyways, but I totally get that. I totally get where it's not that you're necessarily a hipster, but it's like, wow, everybody and their brother literally uses this, right? Like, everybody uses this. Which is why I ended up settling on some interesting things. Like, I'm on Sir Builds a lot for Engineer right now. Haven't really done anything with Scout yet. I think my Medic is still stock, if I understand it correctly. But even then, something like Spy, even Aviator, I'm a little hesitant to use that because it's just so widely used. That should never be a deterrent for someone to use something, right? Like, if you want to use it and you have your own little twist or spin on it, or you just like it, right? That's completely fine. But I definitely see why something someone would like would definitely be something that they don't like or they would actually avoid, because it's just so overused and oversaturated, and it doesn't like feel special anymore, if that makes sense, right? Like, let's say TF2 came out tomorrow with an actual skull for Pyro that wasn't Halloween locked, right? Like, how many people would hop on that like today, right? And then it starts, yes, it's obviously something that people want, but it's one of those things that it feels like it definitely loses a lot of that charm.
Every time I see someone wearing this, which is a lot, they're just named Jotaro Kujo and punching people. It's
there
just,
it is.
Haha, look, it's the thing that happens in the show, and it's everywhere. Granted, I was one of those people at one point.
What is that fish texture?
That happens in the show, and it's everywhere.
Is that a paint? Is that a war paint? How does that happen? How do you get a plaid fish?
Granted, I was one of those people at one point, so I've got no real moral ground to stand on here. And plus, I'm mostly, I don't know, let's go with partially responsible for getting members of the TF2 community into it in the first place, but just...
Yeah, that is the double-edged sword, the catch-22, if you will, of being, content creator, of being anyone with, influence and standing, right? Is that you do something and other people will latch onto it. Not that it's a bad thing, right? Like, it's definitely a look into why influencer marketing works. And I'm not calling him the dirty I word influencer, right? But understanding why companies will use influencer marketing, right? Why certain things happen, right? It starts to make things make a lot more sense.
Holy shit, guys. Let's just maybe tone it back a bit, yeah? Like, I love JoJo and all, but it's just getting way too oversaturated and heavy-handed. Like, maybe we could just not constantly shove it down everyone's throats? I guess that's why I never really made a full-on video about this being in the game,
Impossible.
People were just milking that shit for all it was worth, and it was just getting way too out of hand. Kind of like stereotypes. Anyway, that's everything I've got for today. As always, I'll be doing Engineer next, so let me know if there's a cosmetic that you'd like me to cover for him. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, self-referential humor. I love it. Honestly, this was great, though. I absolutely love this. As somebody who's been very much loving Heavy and playing a lot of Heavy recently, it's been very fun. I've been swapping off between Heavy Engineer and then the odd Spy. Engineer's actually shot up in terms of playtime. I think it's my most played class right now, which is kind of wild. Especially because I started with Engie and I'm like, well, I started Engie in a game and I'm like, I don't like this class. I don't like playing Engie. And now it's like my most played class. I don't know. It's one of those that it's like playing like in Final Fantasy 14, like where I keep doing like Howling Blade or like a raid over and over to try and effectively do it perfect, right? No vuln stacks, making sure I'm doing my optimal rotation and movement right. Kind of like that. That's the same thing I look at Engie, right? Like there's a sub game within the game. So it's been very interesting. But thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did. Hopefully you have some heavy ideas either from this video or maybe there's been stuff that was released since then such as maybe the chicken. I don't know when the chicken released, Mama, whatever. I had a lot of fun with this. Definitely go check out SoundSmith, especially if you have not. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.